Hello everyone, and here we are. It's Wednesday's lesson. We're halfway through the week, and we're looking into the suffering of Christ, and now it intensifies. In yesterday's lesson, we saw how Jesus suffered spiritually as the weight of the sin of the world was transferred from us to him. Today, the lesson draws our attention to the cruelty that Christ would suffer at the hands of those he was trying to save. The cruelty began with mocking, insults, an occasional slap in the face, or somebody would spit on him. Then it escalated to somebody putting a blindfold over his eyes, and then they would try to force Jesus to guess who it was that had punched him in the face. Then came the crown that was covered in thorns that were at least 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch in length. And then they rammed that into his skull. And if that wasn't enough, they abused him and they violated him. They beat him so hard with the whip, designed to tear the flesh off your body, so much so that you could see his rib bones. And then after all of that, in his weakened state, they forced him to carry the very cross they would nail him to. And the question you have to ask is, why in the world would Jesus allow them to do that to him? I mean, after all, nowhere in the sanctuary service did it ask the sinner to abuse or mistreat the animal that was about to be sacrificed. So why in the world would Jesus allow them to treat him this way? And the only satisfactory answer to that question lies in the fact that Jesus wanted us to know that there was nothing we could ever do to God to stop God from ever loving us. And this brings us right back to where we started. Jesus Christ endured rejection, pain, suffering, cruelty, and death because in order to save humanity, we needed to know that we are loved. And it's always been about love. Jesus loved us even when we rejected him. He loved us when we sinned against him. He loved us even as we nailed him to a cross. And even now, he loves us. So how did Jesus respond to our rejection? With these words, "Father, forgive them." And as God the Father transferred the weight of our sin onto his Son, our sin would crush the life from Jesus. It wasn't the cross, the beatings, or the rejection that killed Jesus. It was our sin. And he did it because God, in the form of Jesus Christ, loved the entire world. That was our nugget for today. I'll see you tomorrow.